Welcome to Rising Parent, your go-to podcast for nurturing kind and compassionate children. I'm your host, Tim, and Edna and I are here to help you cultivate empathy in your little ones. In this episode, our guest speakers, Lynn and David, will dive deep into our notes on practical strategies for fostering empathy, from modeling kindness to teaching gratitude. We'll also discuss the importance of emotional intelligence and how it can benefit your child's social and emotional development. So grab a cup of tea and let's embark on this journey of nurturing empathy.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be back.
So today we're going to be looking at something pretty important, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is how to raise empathetic kids.
Yes.
And we are so lucky to be joined by the incredible insights of Edna and Tim.
Oh, they are amazing.
And they really walk the walk.
They do.
For listeners who don't know, Edna and Tim have spent over 20 years working with children and families.
Wow.
And they're also the founders of Selfless Outreach,
which is a nonprofit.
It's a fantastic nonprofit that runs mobile food banks.
So they really are dedicated to helping others.
Absolutely. And that really shines through in all the advice and techniques they share about fostering empathy in kids.
For sure.
So we're going to jump into all of that today.
Sounds great.
One of the first things that Edna and Tim emphasized is the importance of modeling empathy.
Oh, that's so crucial.
It really is.
Like, it's one thing to tell kids to be kind, but if they don't see us actually living that out, it's not going to sink in.
Absolutely.
So one of the ways they talk about modeling empathy is by openly discussing our own feelings with our kids.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not just about, saying, oh, I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
But actually explaining why we feel that way.
Right.
Like, I'm frustrated because I missed the bus and now I'm worried I'll be late for work.
It's about helping kids understand that feelings have reasons behind them, right?
Exactly.
It's not just this abstract thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's connected to actual events and experiences.
For sure. And that can be so helpful for kids.
And it also helps you normalize expressing emotions in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
Like it creates this safe space where they can see that even grown-ups feel frustrated or sad or angry sometimes.
Yeah, and it's okay to talk about it.
Exactly.
And then they feel more comfortable talking about their own feelings.
Totally. And that leads into another really important topic, which is encouraging perspective taking.
Oh, yes. Getting kids to see things from other people's points of view.
And Edna and Tim have some really fun ideas for how to do that.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
One of the things they suggest is role-playing.
Oh, I love that.
It's such a simple but effective way to help kids step into someone else's shoes.
Totally.
And they specifically recommend using what-if questions.
Ooh, that's good.
Like, what if you were the new kid at school? How do you think you would feel?
That's such a great example because it really makes them think.
It does, and they have to imagine what it would be like to be in that situation.
And not only that, it also makes them think about how their actions might affect others.
Absolutely.
Like, what if they were the one who wasn't being very welcoming to the new kid?
That's a powerful realization for a child to have.
It is, and it can really stick with them.
And another thing Edna and Tim mentioned is talking about characters in books and movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like discussing their feelings, their motivations, why they make the choices they do.
That's something I do with my kids all the time. It's a great way to bring up those complex emotions and have those conversations in a safe space.
Yeah.
Because you're not directly talking about, something that happened to them.
Right. It's a little more removed.
Yeah, but they can still relate to it.
And it helps them build that vocabulary for understanding different perspectives.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of understanding feelings, that leads us to another really important point that Edna and Tim make, which is about active listening.
Yes, being fully present and engaged when our kids are talking to us.
It's more than just hearing the words.
Right.
It's about trying to really understand what they're feeling.
And letting them know that we hear them and we understand.
Exactly.
And that can be so powerful for a child.
It really can.
Because when they feel heard, they feel validated, and it builds trust and encourages them to communicate more openly.
Absolutely.
And Edna and Tim have some practical tips for how to practice active listening.
Like what?
Well, one of the things they suggest is giving your full attention.
Putting down the phone, turning off the TV.
Yes, making eye contact.
Showing them that they have your undivided focus.
Right.
They also talk about repeating or summarizing what your child said.
Oh, yeah, to make sure you understand them correctly.
And to show them that you're really listening.
Exactly.
And asking open-ended questions.
Yeah, like, can you tell me more about that?
Or, how did that make you feel?
Instead of just asking yes or no
Or
questions.
it encourages them to express themselves more fully.
It does, and it helps us understand their perspective better.
Absolutely.
And, this can be challenging sometimes,
It can.
especially when we're busy or stressed, but it's so worth it.
It is. It really makes a difference.
Okay, so we've talked about modeling empathy, encouraging perspective taking, active listening, and now let's move on to the kindness and gratitude piece.
This is something Edna and Tim are super passionate about.
Oh yeah, they believe it's essential for raising empathetic kids.
And they have some really great practical tips here.
Like what?
Well, they encourage parents to do things like random acts of kindness with their kids.
Like helping a neighbor.
Or donating to a charity.
Or even just leaving a kind note for someone.
They also recommend gratitude journaling.
Oh yeah, taking a few minutes each day to write down things we're grateful for.
It's a great way to shift our focus to the positive.
And it can really help kids appreciate what they have.
Absolutely.
And Edna and Tim also emphasize the importance of volunteering together as a family.
It's a fantastic way to show kids the impact they can have on the world.
And it helps them connect with their community.
And develop a sense of responsibility for others.
Exactly.
Even small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
They really can.
They can brighten someone's day.
And they can inspire others to be kind.
It's like a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
And finally, we come to positive reinforcement.
Yes, encouraging those empathetic behaviors we want to see more of.
Edna and Tim really stress the importance of praise and encouragement.
It's about creating a positive cycle.
Yeah, when kids feel good about expressing empathy,
Right.
they're more likely to do it again. Exactly.
And on the flip side, they caution against shaming or belittling.
Oh, yeah, because that can really damage a child's self-esteem.
And it can discourage them from expressing empathy in the future.
Absolutely.
It's all about creating that supportive environment where kids feel safe to explore their feelings.
And to be kind.
So, to wrap up our deep dive into Edna and Tim's amazing insights.
I feel like we've learned so much.
Me too. I feel like I have a whole toolbox of new ideas.
For sure.
And I think the big takeaway is that even small, consistent efforts can make a huge difference in helping our kids develop empathy.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. And it's a journey worth taking.
Absolutely.
So before we go, be sure to check out selflessoutreach.org to learn more about the amazing work Edna and Tim are doing to fight food insecurity.
They are truly inspiring.
They are. And now here's something to ponder. What's one small action you can take today to encourage empathy in your child?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive and share this episode with anyone who might find it helpful.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope this episode has inspired you to nurture empathy in your child. Remember, small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more expert advice and to help us continue providing valuable content to support you on your parenting journey. Until next time, let's spread kindness and compassion.